The relationship between Jungkook, BTS's youngest member, and HYBE's founder Bang Si-Hyuk has often been a point of curiosity in the entertainment industry. While BTS's global success is undeniable, the inner workings of the company and the dynamics between its most important artist and the figure who built the empire have sparked intense discussions. Recently, speculations and controversies surrounding a supposed insult or sharp comment from Bang Si-Hyuk toward Jungkook have fueled debates online. Yet, hidden beneath this layer of drama is an unexpected twist that suggests the story might not be as straightforward as it seems. To understand this drama, we must break it down into three major reasons why Jungkook's situation with Bang Si-Hyuk is more than just a passing controversy. Each reason opens the door to bigger questions about the role of management, artistic independence, and the future of K-pop itself. When discussing Jungkook and Bang Si-Hyuk, one cannot ignore the central theme of power: who holds it, how it is exercised, and the consequences for an artist at Jungkook's level. In the world of K-pop, where companies traditionally control everything from music production to personal appearances, the rise of a global superstar like Jungkook poses unique challenges. He is not just an idol under a label. He has become a global brand of his own, capable of influencing markets, fashion trends, and even global streaming platforms. For years, HYBE was seen as the model K-pop company, thanks to BTS's unprecedented success. On the surface, it appeared that the relationship between Bang Si-Hyuk and the members was built on mutual trust. The public image often portrayed Bang as the visionary producer who discovered and nurtured BTS, while the group, including Jungkook, were framed as loyal and grateful artists who contributed to building the HYBE empire. But the idea of complete harmony within such a massive business structure is, at best, a simplified narrative. The entertainment business thrives on control over image, output, and narrative. Once an artist becomes powerful enough to rival the company's influence, tension naturally follows. Jungkook, who has broken records across the US and beyond, represents exactly this type of figure. His influence stretches far beyond what the company initially planned. And when an artist's global reach threatens to surpass the company's ability to manage it, conflict becomes inevitable. Reports or rumors of Bang Si-Hyuk insulting Jungkook, whether directly or through sharp remarks, must be understood in this context. The insult isn't just about words. It symbolizes the tension between an artist's independence and the company's desire for control. In many industries, especially in entertainment, verbal remarks often serve as tools of power. An offhand comment from a figure like Bang Si-Hyuk carries weight. It signals where power lies and who is expected to fall in line. For Jungkook, who is not only a BTS member, but also a global cultural force, the sting of such a comment doesn't simply bruise ego. It highlights the clash between corporate strategy and personal artistry. Fans immediately pick up on these dynamics, interpreting even small gestures or words as signs of bigger conflicts. Power struggles in entertainment are not just personal, they are deeply economic. Jungkook's value is enormous. He is the face of Calvin Klein, a sought-after collaborator for US labels, and a global trendsetter whose moves ripple across industries. For HYBE, maintaining control over Jungkook is both a necessity and a risk. If he continues to operate independently or align too strongly with outside players, the company risks losing influence over one of its most valuable assets. This is where Bang Si-Hyuk's alleged insult becomes symbolic. It reflects a broader unease within the company. How do you manage an artist who has outgrown the traditional structures of control? Historically, K-pop companies were never designed to handle stars who reached this level of autonomy. Artists were expected to remain tied to their labels, with limited ability to make independent moves. Jungkook challenges this model in real time. To put this into perspective, similar power struggles have occurred in the US music industry. Artists like Taylor Swift, Prince, and Kanye West have all clashed with their labels over control of music rights, branding, and personal freedom. The difference is that in the K-pop system, these struggles are often hidden beneath carefully crafted PR narratives. A company like HYBE cannot openly admit to clashing with its star artist, as that would undermine the image of unity that fans have come to expect. This makes the drama between Jungkook and Si-Hyuk even more fascinating. Unlike Western artists, Jungkook operates in a system where open rebellion against the company could damage both sides. Thus, conflicts are often expressed through subtler means, sharp comments, indirect remarks, or strategic leaks to media outlets. Despite the apparent tension, there's an unexpected twist. Every time rumors of conflict surface, they tend to generate more attention, ultimately amplifying Jungkook's relevance. While an insult from Si-Hyuk might initially look like a negative moment, it paradoxically highlights Jungkook's growing independence. Fans begin to see him less as just a company product and more as an autonomous figure navigating corporate resistance. This shift is crucial. If HYBE continues to tighten its grip, Jungkook's global image may evolve into that of a trailblazer pushing against outdated systems. That narrative could strengthen his fanbase even further, especially in Western markets where stories of artists versus corporations resonate strongly. What looks like a power struggle internally could in fact become a branding advantage for Jungkook. From HYBE's perspective, managing this conflict is a balancing act. On one hand, Si-Hyuk may feel justified in asserting authority through sharp remarks. After all, maintaining control ensures the company's stability. On the other hand, alienating Jungkook risks creating a long-term rift that could destabilize HYBE's future. BTS, as a group, built HYBE into a global powerhouse. Losing alignment with even one member, especially the one with the strongest global solo influence, could have ripple effects across the company's stock value, partnerships, and brand image. Investors too are watching. Any hint of conflict between Jungkook and HYBE could be interpreted as a warning sign of instability. This is where the narrative becomes even more complex. While drama attracts fan attention, it makes investors uneasy. Thus, HYBE must tread carefully in how it manages Jungkook's growing independence. Jungkook's situation isn't just about him or Si-Hyuk. It reflects a broader transformation in K-pop. The system was built on strict management and limited artist autonomy. But global success is forcing a rethink. Artists like Jungkook cannot simply be treated as replaceable idols. They are now multinational figures whose influence extends beyond music. Their decisions affect industries as varied as fashion, media, and tech. The supposed insult from Si-Hyuk, therefore, is not just a personal slight. It represents the old guard struggling to adapt to a new reality where artists demand more freedom and companies must evolve to survive. Jungkook's role in this drama is central. He is both a test case and a symbol of what the future of K-pop could look like. For most of K-pop history, artists were marketed as products of the company. Fans were sold the idea that idols owed their entire success to the label that trained them, managed them, and promoted them. Companies like HYBE built reputations on this foundation, where artists were seen as loyal family members within a corporate structure. But the reality is shifting. BTS, and particularly Jungkook, have reached levels of fame that simply cannot be explained as the result of company planning alone. While HYBE certainly provided the infrastructure, Jungkook's personal talent, adaptability, and work ethic propelled him into global markets where most K-pop idols never get a foothold. This creates a tension. The company still wants to highlight its role, while fans and media increasingly credit the artist himself. What sets Jungkook apart from other idols is not just his talent, but his ability to thrive independently. His solo projects, appearances, and brand deals often generate as much, if not more, attention than full group promotions. His collaborations with Western producers and artists, his impact on US charts, and his dominance in digital streaming platforms are all indicators of a star who doesn't need constant hand-holding from management. This independence poses a challenge for HYBE. Traditionally, idols were expected to rely entirely on their label to design, market, and control every aspect of their careers. Jungkook, however, is proving that he can move with or without company directives. That's why an insult from Si-Hyuk, whether intentional or not, is so loaded it could be seen as a way of trying to remind Jungkook where the power supposedly lies. One of the clearest signs of Jungkook's independence is his integration into Western markets. Unlike many K-pop idols who struggle to maintain relevance outside Asia, Jungkook has broken through with remarkable ease. His English-language performances, cross-industry collaborations, and US media coverage position him as a hybrid figure, both a Korean idol and a global pop star. This dual identity complicates things for HYBE. In Korea, labels can exercise control because the system is built that way. In the West, however, artists are often judged individually, not as extensions of their companies. Jungkook's success in America strengthens his position as an independent entity. The more he succeeds abroad, the less dependent he appears on HYBE, and the more questions arise about whether he will eventually demand greater autonomy over his career. Jungkook's independence isn't limited to music. His role as the global face of Calvin Klein highlights how he can operate as a standalone brand ambassador. Unlike idols tied exclusively to Korean endorsements, Jungkook's reach extends into global fashion markets. This is significant because fashion partnerships often bring as much revenue and prestige as music itself. Here's where the surprise factor comes in. Every time Jungkook takes on global campaigns, he shifts the narrative of K-pop idols. Instead of being framed as a company's product, he becomes a cultural figure who moves between industries seamlessly. This threatens the traditional model, where companies typically control which endorsements idols are allowed to pursue. Jungkook's independence in this area signals that he's not bound to one playbook. From a corporate standpoint, independent artists are risky. They can negotiate directly with brands, build relationships outside company channels, and potentially reduce the company's leverage. For HYBE, Jungkook's growing independence means they must constantly negotiate with him rather than dictate to him. This shift in power is subtle but enormous. It explains why Si-Hyuk might use sharp remarks to remind Jungkook of the company's role. The more independent he becomes, the harder it is to maintain the image that HYBE is the central force behind his success. For a company that thrives on promoting itself as the architect of K-pop's global rise, Jungkook's independence disrupts the narrative. At its core, this conflict also represents a cultural clash. Korean corporate culture, particularly in the entertainment industry, is built on hierarchy and loyalty. Artists are expected to respect and defer to the authority of their executives. But globally, especially in Western entertainment industries, artists are celebrated for breaking free of corporate control. Jungkook is caught between these two worlds. In Korea, An insult from someone like Bang Si-Hyuk carries significant weight because of hierarchical expectation. Internationally, however, fans interpret such conflicts as signs of an artist's growth and independence. This dual perception puts HYBE in a difficult position. While they may want to reinforce hierarchy at home, they risk alienating international fans who view independence as a strength. What's surprising is how well Jungkook's independence plays into his global branding. Far from weakening him, moments of conflict or tension make him appear more relatable to international audiences. Fans see him as someone navigating real-world corporate struggles, not just a polished idol. This adds layers to his public image. Think about it this way. When an idol is too heavily controlled by a company, fans sometimes criticize them for being manufactured. But when signs of independence emerge, whether through solo decisions, bold partnerships, or even conflict with management, fans begin to perceive authenticity. Jungkook's independence, therefore, strengthens his appeal in markets that value individuality.